Hello, YouTube. You may not be used to the other voice you're about to hear. You may be used to it if you've ever listened to our podcast on iTunes, which is entitled GameKase. Basically, just a podcast where me and two of my buddies talk about what games we're playing, what games are going to be coming out, and pretty much anything that comes up. So I am Feltzer, as you know, and my friend here
is Kool-Aid or Kool-Aid Man, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to go by my gaming persona. And in the old podcast, if you listen to them, I'm known as Scott or Scotty. But we're going to continue on with our gamer tags. Or
we'll just stick to the gamer tags. Moose, who is the third member of our trio, will not be in this podcast, or probably too many in the future. He's actually moving to Montreal.
Yeah.
He's
congrats, buddy, on your promotion.
He's into game design, so
yeah, game testing and game design. The guy's gonna be right there at the front lines.
Yeah, so he's gonna be our sort of inside man. All right, and all of these will be posted on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about going to iTunes to subscribe to the podcast. If that's something that you do and you would rather use that medium,
yeah,
absolutely go ahead, because we're still going to post them on iTunes.
Yeah, of course. We'll probably work on a website, something to get us out around and about, so you don't have to go through iTunes all the time. We'll give you a straight through link.
We got a pretty shitty website right now.
Yeah. I think it's done now.
No, I paid the $100. Keep it going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you should just use that shit for everything then.
No, I know. I just figured, who gives a shit? I don't have anything else to spend money on.
But I'll start working on my HTML again and start fucking playing around.
Nice.
All right, let's get on with the game talk and the nerdy.
All right, so the last video that I made on YouTube, I was talking about Diablo 3 and the Diablo 3 beta and when that's going to be coming out. Basically, all I did was extrapolate 6 months backwards from their internal deadline for release, which is Q4 of 2011. Immediately after I made that video, T2 Darlenton actually made a sort of response video where he talked about not only when he expects release to be, but little things that he didn't really like about what he's seen so far in Diablo 3.
Which seems to be a lot, actually. He's not looking forward to Diablo 3 at all.
Well, I'm going to explain my theory on that too, but basically he had a lot of questions, and I wrote them down here. The first thing that he wasn't too sure about was release. He said he didn't know if it was 2012, 2011, or anything like that. But what the leaked document from Blizzard said was Q4 2011. So that's a pretty easy one to answer. But
within what, October to December then? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to note on that is it's Q4 of the calendar year, not the fiscal year. So
it could even be like yeah.
So if you want to know about that at all, just go back and watch the last video on my channel, and I explained that pretty good. Honestly, T2's main complaint seemed to be the quantity of Blizzard games and
over quality.
Yeah, well, he didn't really mention too many problems with quality. His biggest thing was that it takes too long for Blizzard to come out with games, and the original Diablo was, in 2000 or whatever, and 98 for StarCraft, and just basically big 10-year blocks between releases. And me and Kool-Aid were just talking here, and we honestly think that quality is way more important than quantity.
Yeah, way more. You get stuck up with games like, even we were just talking about Call of Duty, or even sports franchises now with NHL, NFL, that kind of stuff come out every year, but it's the same shit over and over.
Yeah, and just to echo what you're saying about Call of Duty, they're so pressured to come out with new games that it's different developers every time, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's been, what, 2 teams?
Yeah, well, it bounces back and forth.
Yeah, well, because the
Treyarch and Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward's gone now because they were just like, we don't want to do this. This isn't us. We're not just cash cows.
Exactly.
And if you look at the differences, it's gone from Modern Warfare was a big jump. They went back to World War II with Treyarch, and then what they're doing now is just like, okay, this year we're going to give you different perks. We're going to choose a new era, and it's gonna be the same fucking game.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, Kool-Aid brought up too when we were talking a couple minutes ago about the sports franchise games like from EA. How when they come out every year, it's not really a different game.
No, it's not at all. It's a different roster, and hey, we made the ice or the grass look better. How do you like that, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. It's not really a big deal. So what Kool-Aid actually suggested was they could maybe even make more money off just DLC.
Yeah, like that's what everything's heading to. Why not release a sports franchise every 3 years and do a roster update? Like,
Yeah,
that makes much more sense. Pay 10 or even $30 a year, maybe, and here you get the roster updates for this year, and here's a extra jersey.
yeah,
They could do that. That'd be much more successful because it actually costs a lot for them to produce a whole new Blu-ray or DVD, and digital
Yeah.
downloads cost nothing. They put it on a server, 1 million people, 3 million people download it. That shit's just pure profit.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, NHL 11 from EA Sports. This is the first time that they've really upgraded anything. It was the physics engine for quite a long time. But that's just basically the quality over quantity model.
But what you just stated actually falls back into the, release a new one every 3 year with actual upgrades. Like these
Exactly.
are the differences. You want to spend the $70 to buy this year. And
Exactly.
You know what? That might even cut out the people buying the newer versions and from EB Games and selling their copies back. That would totally cut that out. They'd keep their same NHL and then just keep buying the roster updates.
Yeah.
Because even graphics and stuff, even if you go to the console side, patches fix stuff now because they all have big hard drives. You know what? There's going to be a 300 or a gig download when you download the roster update, and here's the new ice effect or here's the new sticks. Like,
Yeah, I agree. And Blizzard does that right. I mean,
yeah, no, for sure.
you'll see, you may not think of a patch as DLC, but I mean, look at World of Warcraft. Every patch is almost, well, I wouldn't say that, but a lot of patches are DLC.
Especially when like Cataclysm comes out. So I'm just so everyone's on the same border as me. I'm fairly new to the World of Warcraft series, and Cataclysm was the first actual expansion. I was there before it was released, and I noticed every update would give you something new. It was
Exactly.
like, here's a new area. This area acts differently. Here's
Exactly.
new weapon sets.
Exactly. That's the biggest time you see DLC from Blizzard is when a new expansion is released, and they won't release every dungeon right away, and then they'll just, sort of release it over time. Rather than coming out with a new game, that makes a lot of sense to me. And what T2 was saying about not coming out with Diablo 3 until, 10, 12 years after the original isn't a big deal to me because they've supported D2 up until now.
Yeah.
The ladder was just reset a couple
Exactly.
days ago.
Well, you know what? They could be a little bit faster. 10 years is a little big. And, I
Yeah.
say 5 to 8 years is good enough for a time lapse before the new one in the old game. But you know what? If they're going to do it right, then they're going to do it right. Even if their team's taking a little bit more time, they're focusing on World of Warcraft, then they're doing that.
Yeah, T2's complaint's legitimate, but at the same time, the amount of support that they give for their games kind of negates the fact that they don't come out with a new game for a long time. World of Warcraft, I'm sure. When do you think they're going to shut down the servers for WoW?
Oh man, it'll be another. Well, look, EverQuest is still bouncing around. So like,
I know.
how old's that game? Like fucking.
There's still going to be patches for World of Warcraft in 2020.
Yeah,
Like, it's
gonna be there because they're gonna have, even if it's not 10 million, they're gonna have 1 million people playing, and it's still gonna be enough to support a server full of people.
that's
Instead
a
of-
big
instead
thing
of
with Blizzard games.
What they'll just do is mash up a bunch of the servers instead of having a 20 or 30 of them have 5 or 10.
Yeah, exactly. And when you sink that much time into a game like WoW, you want to be confident in the company. You don't want your character to all of a sudden not be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Diablo 3, they've already said that there won't be your character won't be deleted if you don't play it for 30 days or whatever it was in Diablo 2.
So that's legitimate. I
Yeah.
stopped playing Diablo 2 so long ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, you're completely fine. Your character will stay active forever.
Wow, that's
Well,
sweet.
not forever, but I mean until they shut down the servers, which
Well, yeah,
who
yeah.
knows when that'll
Which,
be.
You know what?
2040
don't-
or some shit.
They don't shut servers down that often. It's not like a character. It costs like doesn't cost. It takes up like kilobytes of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all
And-
it is reference points.
And Diablo 1, your character was actually stored on your system, and that was actually a pretty big jump to D2 when everything was stored server side.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a huge difference. So if you delete your character, actually, you know what? That brings up another valid thing. I'm really like cloud gaming. Like,
Yeah.
I've noticed I love it lately because you know what? It's a little annoying because I was at the university the other day and they block off Steam servers. So I was playing a game that's not going to update. So I have to hope that I remember to log on to Steam when I get back to an open internet connection and sync it. Because if I play it again and overwrite it, they don't know what to do and they just take the one that was played latest rather than mashing them together.
Yeah, I've had the same problem.
Yeah. So
next question from T2 was town portals. Now, as of right now, I agree with being negative on the current checkpoint system.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like town portals,
and it made sense. There's magic in Diablo, like town portals makes more sense.
Yeah, and I mean, like T2 said, other games have used that mechanic. So why would they change it? I don't know. I really don't know.
Makes no sense at all.
But one thing that Jay Wilson said in a couple interviews now, actually, mainly at BlizzCon 2010 interview with the DirecTV panel, he said that they want to make it really easy to jump in a game with people and be exactly where they are. So
that makes total sense because now it's hard. You have to like jump into a portal.
Exactly.
Hope you can find them.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it hard, but the new way will probably be easier.
Simpler. And you know what? That's what people... There's so many games out now that people are hopping back and forth from so many of them.
Yeah.
That they need something simpler and less time consuming. Just like, wow, that's why you get your mount at level 20 instead of 40 now. Is it 20?
20 for your basic mount.
Yeah, 20 for your basic mount, whereas opposed to that used to be 40.
Yeah.
It take like 2 months. You get your first mount. Now it takes...
Man, I played WoW back in 2005, and when you got your mount, you were a happy dude.
Yeah.
Actually, my first character was actually a Tauren, and at that point, Taurens didn't even have mounts. They had an ability called Plane Strider. Basically, so you just started fucking running fast. Yeah. Oh. It was pretty cool, actually. I was pretty sad when they changed that. But next question from T2 was his concern with the 4-player maximum. And he had some questions within that. I just want to start off by echoing him by saying I don't like the 4-player max.
No, you have more than 4 friends. Especially when that game comes out, you're going to have 20 people that want to play together.
Yeah, exactly. And trade games and different things like that are limited to 4 people. You're not really going to be able to market your items as well as you would be able to in D2. But they haven't said whether or not they're going to have an auction house.
Oh.
In Diablo 3.
That might be... That will be fun. It'll make the world more lively.
Yeah, and the hard thing with that, though, is it's not all gold-based. So you're not just going to buy an item. You could trade for an item.
See, that's fantastic.
Yeah. But the
Craigslist on Diablo 3.
The thing they have to do, though, is make gold actually worth something. In Diablo 2, you just had piles and piles of gold.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't... No one cared about gold. But there's going to be a lot of money sinks in Diablo 3. That's the problem that they had in Diablo 2 is you really didn't have to spend gold on anything. So that'll be fixed.
Yeah, because you would find better weapons than you could purchase.
Yeah.
Better gear anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You just find the guys and you raid the last...
It'll still be like that, but what they're going to change is more money sinks such as crafting and repairing and...
Makes sense.
I think the biggest thing will probably be crafting.
Yeah, sorry. I retract the finding loot because that's totally fun. Like when you find a gem, you're like,
yeah, they want the best. They want the best gear to be found gear. Jay Wilson has also said that he doesn't want crafted gear to be the best gear you can get.
I think crafted gear should be able to make your best gear better.
I never thought about that, like crafting runes and stuff.
Not so much make it better, but make it more personalized.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There is a system that you have to pay for. It's a dyeing system, so you can change the color of your gear.
That's kind of gay.
I don't know. I really like that.
I'm not gonna say that. It's like your desktop. You want certain LEDs. You're not gonna buy that keyboard just because it's blue and you want red.
Yeah. Why do I have a blue keyboard and blue mouse? And
yeah, you're totally right. Except Logitech one-upped you and has blue, green, and red.
Yeah. Actually, this one goes blue.
Oh, isn't it purple?
Yeah, purple.
Purple's sick.
Yeah,
if I could actually make my computer all purple LEDs, I think I'd hop over in a second.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Shit, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah. The 4-player max. T2 said that it's because they figured out that if a whole bunch of people are beating on a monster, it dies too fast.
Nah.
That's not why it's a 4-player max, because they do scale the difficulty to the amount of players in a game. That's not the problem. The problem is that they found that the screen looks too crowded when there's 4 players in the game, just because the level of detail on all the spells is so high.
Yeah.
So if you have 8, dear God, I was about to say mages. If you have 8 wizards,
Or monks.
yeah, even a monk, but specifically a wizard casting something like a chain lightning. Well,
Yeah,
they don't
oh.
actually have chain lightning, but
I think that would tear some pieces apart too. For them, and you gotta understand, Blizzard really likes attacking that. Okay, these people don't have as high end graphic cards as others, so it's making a game look good is
Yeah.
a priority. But having 8 people tear up the screen with different physics, especially because it is inquiring physics now, right? Am
yeah,
I
it
wrong?
is. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, yeah.
So now that it has physics, it's graphically much more intense.
Yeah, the terrain is destructible too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So things like roll down cliffs or
You know, I think that's another thing.
stairs.
Like some people don't get. Okay, this is taking up forever, but those things take so much time coding and figuring out.
Well, they're done that. They're
Yeah,
done
I'm
coding.
just saying, but that took so long for them to get there, so that can be part of the explanation why, like it's taken 10 years to get this game out.
Yeah. Well, at BlizzCon 2009, Jay Wilson said that the stage that they were in was coding and development. And at BlizzCon 2010, he said that their game is done. It's playable. Now it's just balancing and hashing things out.
Yeah. Which, why isn't there a beta out for a larger quantity of people? That's what
Even
I
an
don't understand.
alpha.
Yeah, like where the hell is that stuff? That is crucial right now. Your game's coming out in 6 months. What is it? 6 months about?
Well, they said Q4.
Yeah, it's about.
So it's close. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say about
Actually,
6 months.
It's almost exactly 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So 6 months, you need to have beta testers. Like,
Well, like
Yeah.
they said, 6
like,
months for a
even-
beta is what they expect.
yeah, even like Gears of War 2 beta starts on April 24th or 16th to special pre-orders, and then 24th to everyone else.
Mhm.
That's giving the game like a good 5 months of beta testing.
Yeah. So it's pretty much now till June when we should expect
But-
a beta.
You know what? That's saying a game like Gears or Call of Duty, they need a much bigger beta for like Diablo because it's much more open concept.
Well, the beta for StarCraft 2, I believe, was 5 months.
Again, StarCraft 2 is very, I wouldn't say linear, but it is linear compared to Diablo.
Well, it's not so much the story that required the beta. They were pretty good with that.
The multiplayer aspect,
Exactly.
getting at the quirks of
The
like,
amount of balancing for an RTS,
oh,
dear
it's
God,
insane.
dear
Which,
God.
you know what, you're gonna need it again for Diablo because certain classes are just gonna dominate while others are gonna.
Well,
be like,
what they
"Oh,
said was they're not going to focus too much on balancing PvP.
no, why not?
They don't care.
Yeah. So
PvP is not Diablo, apparently.
so wizards are gonna be the only thing worthwhile. So everyone has a backup wizard, and then have your others.
Well, that's kind of the way it worked in D2 for a while, until Enigma was available and every class could teleport. Pretty much everyone had Sorceress for magic finding.
You know what is cool about the new Diablo that I actually like is the sex classes. You can be a female or a
Yeah.
male or on all of them.
Yeah, I like that too. Actually, at one of the BlizzCons, I think it was 2009 when they announced the monk, they had this complete idiot working for DirecTV, and he was interviewing Jay Wilson, and he says, so you released the monk. Will there be a female monk? When will she be released? And he said it in a way that wasn't near as coherent as what I just said. He said it in a way that made it seem like a female monk was a totally separate class. And he was
Why?
questioning if that was like part of the 5 classes or something. No, it was a really stupid
Every other
question.
character has a female and male.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
will the monk have one?
Yeah, it was the stupidest fucking shit ever.
There's no such thing as a female monk.
Oh man, it was brutal. Yeah, actually, that's true. And then Jay Wilson, he said that actually, and Jay Wilson was like, "It's our world. We can do whatever we want."
Yeah, man. Come on. Can we drop portals now? What the fuck are those things?
Yeah, no, I know. And another thing that T2 was concerned with was, can you be in different places at any time within the game as compared to the other people in the game?
I
You
really
can't.
can't see them taking that out. Like,
That would be really terrible.
Yeah,
if they
oh
took
my-
that out. Now you can be in different places.
man, you walked off the screen. I can't fucking stop.
Yeah, no, that would be a game breaker for everyone, I think. not being able to be in another place. You might be able to. There might be like a recruiter friend system, like in WoW, where you can just summon whoever's in the game right to you.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
That they might do that.
I wonder if they'll do a thing like that where they the recruiter friend gives you bonuses.
I wouldn't say right away.
No, I don't think right away because it's just like vanilla WoW. It's so much more for the hardcore, and then they want to get more people into it, like myself with.
Yeah, the people
WoW.
that will play Diablo 3 right away will buy it on release.
Yeah.
I don't think the next time that you'll see a big purchase of Diablo 3 will be until the next like major gift giving holiday like Christmas or something.
Gift getting or even the next expansion.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many people are going to just start getting into Diablo. I would say for another couple years after release, just because everyone that's going to buy the game already wants it. So
yeah, exactly. That's another thing you mentioned is dropping down from 7 to 5 characters. Why would they release 7
classes?
in every game? They've released what? The first one I only had 4 classes, right?
3.
3. So that was smaller than 5. You know, I guess if they followed the trail of 3, then 5, 7 would be.
Yeah, I'm pissed about that, to be honest.
You know what? I'm not, because there's going to be so much game that why do you need to choose from 7?
You mean story? Like, there's going to be so much story?
Yeah, there's going to be so like 5 stories is enough, right?
Well, the story doesn't change based on what class you play. You start in the same area.
Yeah, I get that. But background story.
Oh, like lore? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lore-wise, it's enough.
See,
I just don't think it's enough options.
I think different lore should affect your gameplay, like how characters react to you in different realms.
Well, it may. And actually, it will, because I remember reading on DiabloFans.com something about there might be barbarians in a certain area, and if you're a barbarian, these people will talk.
They did that with the expansion for Diablo 3, right? Or Diablo 2, sorry.
I don't remember
the expansion when you
that.
got to the end of it. It was the barbarian city, right?
Yeah. But I don't remember them treating you.
Yeah, I don't remember them either. Like, oh, that awesome necromancer that's been saving the world. Hey, that barbarian, you're awesome too.
Yeah, I don't.
Should be like, hey, comrade.
Pretty ambiguous. Next thing was customization of your character. Yeah, that's kind of different than it was. It used to be you would customize your character by your stat placement and your skill tree. Now it's basically runes. So,
what game does that copy from?
Runes?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
WoW doesn't do that, does it?
No.
So I think they're doing it to try and separate a little bit more from WoW. Well, because you know what, there are games that are copying the way they do things. They want to separate it themselves again.
Yeah, the rune system basically is you get runes and you can insert them into your skills, and it changes the way that the skill acts. So, for example, the Witch Doctor's Firebomb skill, if you put a certain rune in that, let's call it an Ith rune. If you put an Ith rune in the Firebomb skill, it'll bounce.
Oh, nice.
So you'll get like 3 or 4.
So you can actually. Oh yeah, that's true. You can put runes in your skills. Talents.
That's what runes are now. So in Diablo 2, runes you would actually insert them into weapons or gear. Now basically what runes are is you insert them into your skills, and they change the way the skill acts.
Rather than upgrading a skill to get different.
Well, not the basically before it was you would put points
and it'd make skills, it more powerful,
and it would make it more powerful, right? And the way you'd customize your character was by stat placement. So you could put more into vitality, more into dexterity, right?
Yeah.
That's gone. So you no longer get to place your stats the way you want.
Really?
Yeah, it's completely gone. They're auto assigned.
I don't think I like that.
It's exactly the same as WoW.
Oh.
So you don't have to worry about that.
So
the way you customize your character is completely by runes.
They're auto assigned towards your class, then kind of like a monk would look more better this way, or have better dexterity than more spell casting.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about
that. Works out good.
A lot of people fucked up their characters.
That would, because you choose a total opposite like tree to what your character's supposed to be.
But the thing that it eliminates is a lot of times people would want to do something completely weird, like have a Sork, for example, that had a 2-hander.
Yeah.
Right? So you could just max out dexterity and strength, and you would actually be able to use a huge sword, and you could be a sorceress. So there was a lot of different options that you had,
A
right?
necromancer with a huge sword, which I didn't mind because I loved being a necromancer and loved having pretty good melee combat.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It eliminates a lot of weird builds that the developers maybe didn't think of, and the community kind of just invented it, right?
yeah, no, I like
But
that.
the way it is now is it's just customization by runes. So if you can just change the way your skills act.
I guess we'll really have to see about when it comes out how it plays out. But you know what? That's like we can't contradict everything they say because or look down on it because this game has taken 10 years.
Well, we
you know
don't
what?
even know exactly what the runes are going to do yet.
Yeah,
They said there's going to be a ton of runes.
so you know what? There's probably gonna be like thousands of runes or
Exactly. Just think about one specific skill. So we'll stick with the firebomb
okay,
from
firebomb throwing
from
it,
exactly. So you have bounce.
bounce,
Maybe you can have
like
it hits harder.
yeah, speed.
Exactly. It might go faster. It might reduce
Um,
the mana cost. It might summon something else. You might have like
It
a
could set
multi-shot.
areas on fire and do damage on the with the physics effects, just like things like that. There you
Exactly.
go.
Exactly.
But it could totally not at the same time.
I know. I know.
Let's not get ourselves too excited right here.
I know. You could even turn it into something that turns it into an AoE, so it shoots out in all directions. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's so true.
the possibilities are kind of endless, really. Um, I think that's pretty much good for customization. Do.
Next,
Oh yes.
right.
A big thing was the skills that you have are based upon your level. So you can't get, for example, Hydra if you're a wizard until almost max level, right? So what? And you do have the ability to respec. There's no prerequisites.
Mm.
So
See.
what they're worried about is as soon as everyone gets to end game, they're just going to respec and use all end game skills.
That's
It kind of
I
doesn't
don't
make any
you
sense.
know,
when
I
you
don't
think
like the
about it.
respecking idea. At least for a little while, you should be stuck with the decisions you make. I think
Well, I think
the
that's all based
respecking
upon
just
the
makes
cost.
makes it too easy.
It depends upon the cost. Respec is a huge money sink.
You know, yeah, because they're just gonna charge for it. I think that's the only reason. And I'm
It
somebody who
helps
does.
the economy though a
I
lot.
you know what? I won't. I'm talking about real, like actual money. They're gonna charge you.
Oh, they're not going to charge you money to respec. No,
You think?
it'll be in-game currency. Yeah, for sure. Because they need. That was the biggest problem in Diablo 2 was the lack of value of gold, in my opinion. Just because you couldn't really spend it on anything. So
I just, you know what? For the first little while, you're experiencing. I can't speak tonight. Experiencing their game for the first time, you should be stuck with the decisions you make, just for a little while, for
Well,
a year.
you
Or
might
two.
be. You might be. You might not be able to physically acquire that much gold until max level or until you're in hell or nightmare or something like that. So they might do it that way. And then if you want to make a new character, you're not punished because you might be able to just get the gold on your main character, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it might be set up that way so that you're not able to respec constantly. But a big thing that I was thinking about is the runes. You're going to actually be able to take runes in and out of skills and replace them. So if you want to put in the multi-shot rune or whatever it would be called into your firebomb, and then you go, oh no, I'm up against a boss who's he teleports all over the place, so it's really hard for me to hit him. I'm gonna swap out this rune and put in the AoE rune, so it'll shoot out in all directions. That kind of seems stupid to me because then you can just change your runes whenever you want. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think if you remove a rune, it should be destroyed.
Yeah, like it's taking it out of the sword, or
The same way
it
they
gets
have it
ruined.
in
It,
WoW.
like it gets physically damaged, and you can't use it.
Or you might have to spend gold to repair it or something so that it can be.
But make it valuable. Make the gold worth, like, okay, you have 5,000 gold in the old game. That would buy you everything in the game. That 5,000 gold, if you want to repair this rune, is going to cost 3,000 gold. So you have to spend your money wisely.
Yeah, I agree. They have to do something. They can't just have it like a respec in, or sorry, if you have dual spec in World of Warcraft, they can't just make it like that where you can just automatically switch over. that would ruin the game in my opinion. Completely. All right, moving on. Potions. So we all know about the health orbs. That's going to be the main way to heal yourself. Basically, you kill monsters and some of them will drop health orbs. So you basically just run over, hit that health orb, and it heals you a certain percentage. That's basically the replacement for the potion system. So completely remove the way that you thought of potions in Diablo 1, Diablo 2. That doesn't exist anymore. There's still potions in the game, but there's no potion belt or anything like that. You're not going to be spamming 1, 2, 3, 4 to try to heal yourself or to get mana back or anything like that. I'll replace the way you think about potions to the way you think about potions in World of Warcraft. Cool down on the potions, so you can only use them sometimes. They're not used very much, just because of the cooldown, pretty much. And
which makes the game harder.
It makes it
not
make
harder,
more sense,
more challenging.
I think it makes it more fun.
More fun. You know what?
Who wants to just spam potions?
I just zoned out for a second. Did you talk about the orb idea?
Yeah.
See, that's a great idea.
Exactly.
You're not focusing on spamming. You're focusing on the combat and your next tactical assault that you're gonna do, rather than
exactly.
Oh shit, I'm dying. Like,
yeah, and you got to bounce around to try to actually go get that orb, right? So it with the environment being destructible and everything, and those health orbs being stationary, you're really gonna have to plan out how you're gonna attack. So you're gonna have to, teleport over here, shoot that wall down, teleport over here to grab the health orbs, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And bows are in the game. Okay, so everyone that's worried about crossbows being the only projectile weapon that they've seen so far, bows are in the game. That's been said. Don't worry. Also, the loot will not be World of Warcraft style. You're not going to have to go to a certain boss to get a certain item. It's going to be random just like Diablo 2, Diablo 1.
Kill a demon or a minion and you get like the best sword.
Well, the way it worked in Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 was you could only drop the monsters could only drop items up to their level.
Yep.
So if you're killing Hell, Baal, then you're gonna get obviously the best possible chance of getting a good item, which is perfect. That's what Diablo is. That's where the replayability comes from. Yeah. You can just random generated that
fighting
feels really
it over
good.
And over the grind.
Exactly. Diablo on console.
It's not even mentioned. We're over speculating about it. You know what? Blizzard's just looking into the console area because it's where money's at right now. It's like Crisis. If you watched, I was reading the article where the sources are saying there's been like 60,000, or not 60,000, like 30,000 copies of Crisis 2 on Xbox, 25 on PS3, and like 16 on PC. PC, it's not dying per se, because PC actually, like, Steam had a huge growth this year, and so is Blizzard with profitability. It's the fact that I think they're meshing into the same thing, but right now console is, it's easier for people to have because you don't have those people that have the knowledge to build a good computer or can't afford the ones that are built pre-made for you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with console gaming is the developers know what their client is going to get. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can develop a game for the PS3 and you don't have to, make a scaling system for the graphics. But at the same time, we'll stick with Crisis 2. If you buy Crisis 2 for PC, the scaling system for the graphics is shit.
That's a lie. Crisis 2 to date has the best scaling system out of any game.
I was looking at it on Louis' computer, and it has basically just like 3 options, which is the enthusiast and the gamer and whatever.
Because that's your level of detail. If it sees, okay, your detail's that much, but you're trying to push your antistropic filtering to 16 when 4 will work better.
So it auto-assigns it?
It auto-assigns it. But there are patches, and there are already not leaks. There's already people coding things where you can force it to do what you want.
Right.
But Crisis 2 today is one of the best scaled games out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the options and it was nothing.
Actually, what was I reading? Yeah, you can get maxed out settings with like a 560.
Really?
You can play on the highest setting and get like a good 40 to 50 frames
It
or
looked
35.
amazing on the Wii 17X.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's
unreal.
what settings was he on?
1920 by 1080 on, I think it was Enthusiast.
See, exactly. And the game looked amazing. It probably didn't chop as much as the old one did.
It didn't.
This is one of the best games.
So
for-
okay, the reason was I was looking for
yeah.
options and I
they
didn't
gave you
see
3.
anything. Yeah,
And you know they'll fix that in the future, but like
I thought that
it's-
was a result of the console release because
no, it's a result of, you know what, people complain not being able to play Crisis, but you know
Mhm.
you can buy like a 550 Ti now and play in the middle section or with the middle settings and get a good 50 frames per second.
Mhm.
And even if you drop down to a 550 Ti or like a 5770 and going to the highest settings, you're gonna get like 28 to 35 frames per second, which was better than before. You could have a, like back in the day when that one was released, you'd have a 8800 and you try to go to the highest settings and you'd be fucking balls deep at 15 frames per second.
Does the Crytek engine use anything like PhysX or anything like that? They're not NVIDIA dependent
No,
or
no,
ATI
no.
dependent.
They
Or
they run
favored, I
they
should
run
say.
better on NVIDIA cards.
NVIDIA cards?
The way
Okay.
they've made it is it scales better on the NVIDIA card structure.
Yeah, I think on startup it has the NVIDIA logo,
Mhm.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was trying to say basically was a lot of games that get ported over to PC are developed on the console and they don't have very good options scaled for
Mhm.
the PC for graphics, controls, pretty much everything, right? I don't think we have to worry about that ever with Diablo or StarCraft or
No.
any Blizzard title, really, because they develop it on the PC and then port it to console, right?
Most games are actually there like that.
Developed on PC?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Homefront,
Especially
for
if you-
example,
if
that
you
just
look at-
came out.
Yeah,
Terrible
Oh,
on PC. Terrible.
It's terrible on Xbox and PlayStation. It's just terrible.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
horrible.
it's just a bad game?
It's horrid. Yeah.
What do you mean, just graphics wise or
But
gameplay?
You gotta understand them. If it's developed for 360 in mind, it's developed on a PC because it's so easy to port PC to Xbox because they're built off like the same architecture. Like the Xbox 360
Windows?
the Xbox 360 is a powerful PC. You got to understand, when the Xbox 360 was released, it had like a video card ahead of its time. That's
Mm.
why it's pushing Crysis at, like, you would probably think the middle settings for a console,
Right.
and getting 30 frames per second, as opposed when you look at the PS3 version, it's dropping to 25, 23. But the Xbox version has a little bit more tearing because NVIDIA does a little bit better with their anti-aliasing. But if anybody plays shooters and you're getting 25 to 30 frames per second, or getting 30 frames per second to 33 frames per second, getting 1% tearing, I would take the 33 and 1% tearing any day.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
It's split second gaming. It's not
Mhm.
story.
Especially when you're buying something that has like a 72. Say you're buying something like a mouse that has 7200 DPI.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna want at least 33 frames per second.
Exactly.
If you're moving around the screen that fast.
That's where tearing kicks in, right?
Exactly.
But
I mean, I would take a little bit of tearing and a decent FPS
for sure,
any day.
Yeah.
So,
back on subject. Sorry.
Actually, you know what? That was pretty on topic there, because we're basically just talking about the console version of Diablo.
Yeah.
So that'll never happen. You'll
know
never
what?
see Diablo on PC or a Blizzard title on PC suffer because of a console version.
And they've made that totally clear. They've stated that, haven't they, in many articles?
They have.
Even when people have asked, okay, why are you trying to get console developers?
Yeah, I mean, StarCraft N64, right? So
Yeah. That sucked.
yeah. Anyway, moving
But, you know what?
on.
Back in the day, if you didn't have a computer to play it, it's not a bad alternative.
The thing was, PC gaming wasn't extremely demanding back then.
Yeah.
So
Well,
pretty much any. Well, I mean, if you
the
had,
PC parts were more expensive back then. Now,
but if you bought a desktop PC at any store, you could play StarCraft. I knew nothing about computers in 1998, and I had a really crappy Cicero something. And
no, you're right in that aspect.
exactly. Okay.
But they're putting video cards in PCs now that can play games fine.
Oh yeah, the PC gaming way outperforms console gaming right now. Obviously,
I think in different aspects. I think when consoles are fresh and new, it doesn't, because you're getting gameplay just as good, well, on PC. Actually, better because it's formatted to work perfect on a console.
have they No, they all the consoles out right now, 360 and PS3, they're all single GPUs, right?
Nope.
Really?
No, the PlayStation 3, I think it works off like a dual core or quad core concept and has different SPUs.
Really?
So it has like different threads, kind of like hyper threading, while the Xbox has 3 dual cores in it.
Wow.
Or yeah, it has 6 cores.
And those are all GPUs, not
Yeah.
CPUs.
Oh, those are CPUs. Oh,
Okay.
single GPUs.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, single core GPUs. None of them. I can't see them going to dual because there's no benefit now. GPUs are so powerful that you could put like if they put a 590 or not 590, 580 or like saying now if they released one right now or like 6970, it'd be so powerful. Like
You know who the company that I think is going to take over portable gaming in the future? AMD. Just because they're so far ahead of everyone with GPU, CPU technology in
You
one
think-
chip.
no,
Either that or they just sell it.
you're saying portable gaming?
Yeah.
Like laptops or iPhone?
No. Something like a phone or
Maybe, but
they're so far ahead of everyone with that technology though that it's
Apple's right there, man.
yeah. I forgot about
It's
Apple.
not always about, and it's not always about hardware. It's about user base. You
Yeah,
want
that's
to know
true.
why the iPhone's so good for gaming? Because they have millions of people with iPhones.
Yeah. The iPhone
But
will probably dominate.
You're right.
in the future.
I think AMD's kicking ass right now.
they could probably sell that technology to Apple. No.
Oh, well,
Apple-
you gotta already see AMD's getting into Apple's heads. They went from using all NVIDIA,
That's
GPUs
true. The new
to
MacBooks.
ATIs, yeah.
There you go.
and they're kicking ass.
Yeah. So maybe that's the future for Intel.
Actually, some news about AMD. They actually, who makes their chips?
Them.
No. They pay a company to make their chips.
Oh, just to manufacture them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Microtrends, and I'm a loss.
So just
For-
the
the company,
manufacturing company. yeah.
People have always had like put down AMD because you're buying a tri-core because one core failed. It's only because the people making their shit is garbage. So they claim that we're done paying this company to give us crappy CPUs. If they're dead cores, we're not paying for the wafers that have dead cores in them. We're paying you for what we're asking.
So are they switching companies or are they just changing the
I
way
doubt
that
it
they're
because
buying
they
them?
paid this. I forget the gentleman. I think he was like an oil king. They paid him to start up this company. So I don't think they're gonna totally drop them. I think they're just trying to get his standards up.
Right.
They're made in Malaysia, so
It's kind of weird that American is in their name and their stuff's made in Malaysia. That's okay.
well, it's everything.
No, I know. Yeah. From clothes to
Yeah, they still have their headquarters in Toronto. Like,
yeah.
I still prefer them over Intel, or
Oh.
that's why I prefer AMD or Radeon over
Yeah.
NVIDIA.
Well, you're a bit of a fanboy, but anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move on.
Everyone is.
All right. PvP in Diablo 3. T2's concern, you'll be able to just get free epics like in World of Warcraft. That's not going to happen. It's already been stated that PvP will not be balanced. PvP will not give you gear. You will not gain any advantage over another player because you're good at PvP. PvP is just going to be for fun, and you'll be able to get items as rewards that don't affect gameplay, such as dyes. Dyes is actually probably the best example. You might be able to get like a lime green or like a gladiator red or something like that you can't get anywhere else in the game, just from Arena.
That sounds awesome.
In my opinion, it does. But
Because it's not making, you know what, that makes people like who have an epic worried to play because they don't want to lose it, but at the same time have something to game.
what do you mean lose an epic?
Well,
And the gear, I don't think will be.
no,
like that,
before
but-
didn't you lose your gear like if you died?
Oh,
someone's
you could
Yeah.
body pop people, but that was actually an error in the game.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the game design.
Hmm.
Actually, on that note, one thing that they have taken out is PK, player killing. So you
Oh.
can no longer go hostile against a player and kill them.
Oh, so if you're doing a quest and then all of a sudden like, hey,
Yeah, that pisses me off to no end. One of the most
Now,
fun
when you
things.
player kill, do you drop your equipment? Can they pick up that epic you just found?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
You could body pop people, right?
Mhm.
That's out of the game. I don't care. That was just a flaw. That makes sense that it's not going to be in the game. What you could do was scam people. So let's say, all right, put down a couple items, and I'll put down a couple items, and we'll trade that way. Just put something down so that I trust you. They put it down, and you're in an area that can be glitched. When they drop it down, they can't pick it up. You kill them, pick it up. You just have to be hostile against them, right? And that's not the only example. Just player killing is fun.
Yeah.
In any game. World PvP in World of Warcraft was one of my favorite things ever. And that was pretty much destroyed with the flying mount. You couldn't really do too much after that because people
they
just
just
fly away.
like boom.
Exactly. And I mean, if it was a druid, they could just instantly turn into a bird and fly away. That ruined world PvP for me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things in Diablo 2 was world PvP because there was no arena system, right?
You're going into PvP, you're fighting, like that's it.
Exactly. And I really wish they left that in the game. The reason they say they took it out is because it's not the best way to PvP, and they don't want players that are noobs pretty much to get screwed over.
Me.
Yeah. But that's half the fun. Like when you suck at a game and you're just getting completely owned, and then a year later you're awesome at it, that's part of the fun. You're like, I remember when I sucked, now I'm kicking the shit out of people that suck. In my opinion, PK should be in the game, but it's not. Now I want to explain something to people that listen to someone like T2, for example. Like I just showed Kool-Aid here, the video, and he was saying, what the hell's going on here? He's really negative, eh? What the hell? And
that's what I sound like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
The best way to explain it is they love these games. You hear someone sit there and complain about Diablo 3, they're still going to buy Diablo 3. The reason they're complaining is because they want Diablo 3 to be a better game. So they think the more that they complain, the harder that Blizzard or whoever the developer is will work harder on their game. And you know what? I like that. I like that better than just being a blind fanboy who just sits back and says, "Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's Blizzard. It's going to be awesome." While that is probably right, it does make sense to complain. Because if you do, they're probably going to listen. And they have already. The inventory system is probably the best example. When they first came out with the inventory system, it was exactly the same as WoW. So everything was one square. It went in your bag and you were done with it. And then they changed it because people complained. They changed it to your big items went in one area, your middle items went in another area, and your quest items went in another area in your bag. People complained. They didn't like it. So they've changed it. Now it's exactly the same as it was in Diablo 2. Items take up different amounts of item slots, and you have to fit them into your bag. The only difference is quest items don't show up in your bag. They show up somewhere else. And obviously that's subject to change still. So complaining does help, right?
Of course, their main priority is making money, and if they're not selling their product the way people like it, they're not going to make money.
And I'm not 100% on this, but I swear I've heard developers say Diablo 3 will be free to play online. You don't have to pay a monthly fee for Diablo 3.
It's not World of Warcraft. That's what people are taking these changes that it's going to be similar to World of Warcraft, that it's going to be a World of Warcraft. It's not.
However, I do think something like this might happen in the future. While they won't make Diablo 3 pay to play as a pay to play model, they may do something like this. All of their games run through Battle.net too.
Mm-hmm.
Except for World of Warcraft.
Monthly to use Battle.net.
Exactly.
Which will suck.
Well, you'll have all their games and you'll just be playing one monthly fee.
But right now, all you're paying for is World of Warcraft. No other game requires a fee.
Exactly. What about someone that just has StarCraft 2, for example? They don't want to play WoW.
No. That's the best way for them to make money. It's actually unfortunate if they do that.
Yeah, and I can see that happening.
You know what?
Does that make sense to you?
No.
No?
It may make sense for them to make money. It doesn't make sense to do that because they'll lose. I think they'll lose more money with people not buying. Like if
Yeah,
it's like that, I'll just look for the next best thing. I don't want to pay monthly for another game. Just like T2 said, like it's gonna be hard to get myself to pay again.
I
And
agree.
if it's even like if it comes down to okay, StarCraft has been free since day one, Diablo has been free, World of Warcraft has been always been pay to play.
Mhm.
Different, and you're paying to play because it's a world that's never ending. It's always changing.
World of Warcraft definitely does require.
Prescription.
Yeah,
The servers they have are so massive. I understand. It could be a little less, but
I'd say the next game that's gonna have a monthly fee is probably gonna be Titan from them.
right.
Yeah,
Which I thought there was an interview where they said they're making an MMO where that's free.
really, I don't remember hearing that.
Maybe I heard it on another podcast or something where they mentioned it, but I'm not gonna.
We
be
already know
liable
it.
for
We
that.
already know what Titan's gonna be. Titan's gonna be the Halo MMO. I'm serious. Who's gonna do a Halo MMO better than Blizzard?
I wouldn't want to play Halo MMO. I'd rather
Well,
play Modern Warfare MMO.
there was an episode of a TV show. I can't remember what TV show, but in the credits it said Blizzard Entertainment at the end of the show, and they never once played World of Warcraft. They never played StarCraft. They never played Diablo. You know what game they played in the show?
What?
Halo.
But the next Halo game is supposed to be made by Gearbox. I thought,
As we know, though,
or is it Gearbox?
different developers can own an IP on different consoles.
No, because I think Xbox owns the Halo like IP like universe, and they
For Xbox,
yes, but you got to say Halo made a PC version, so they'd own the IP for the PC version as well.
may have been purchased by Blizzard. When was the last time you saw support for Halo on a PC?
The only reason they don't do it is because it's so more profitable being on one system.
So why wouldn't they sell the PC IP to Blizzard?
Because Microsoft is money hungry, and if they're Microsoft,
Exactly, that's my point. They're money hungry.
but they wouldn't
Definitely.
sell for one. Microsoft will see, okay, you know what? If we make an MMO with Halo, we'll make tons of money. They could lease it out.
They're
for them.
not. They don't have the
they could-
ability to do
They
it.
could
In my
use
opinion.
Blizzard to make it because they have the MMO set already.
Who was the company that was developing the Blizzard MMO, or sorry, the Halo MMO in the first place? Because they were making it and they canceled it.
I've never heard of a Halo MMO.
They were making it. I can't remember the name of the company, but you know what the code name was for the project when it was under development? Take a guess.
Titan.
Titan.
If it comes out, I bet it'll still have Microsoft all over it. They see Microsoft will say, you know what? Which company is making the most money out of every MMO? Not Sony. Sony has 10 MMOs.
You know what?
They're
I
not
never
making
thought
money.
about that. They may have just gone partners with Blizzard on it.
Honestly, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Who's gonna do it better than Blizzard? You know what I mean?
An MMO? No one.
Microsoft says, "Hey, Blizzard, you know what?
We'll partner with you.
You guys make the best PC games. We want this to be the best PC game.
Mhm.
Here's 5 years and everything that we have so far. Make it
Makes
awesome.
sense.
Definitely, it will be pay to play though. Definitely,
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
they're probably gonna support the shit
You
out of
have so many people wanting to pay to play a Halo.
that.
Halo
Alrighty,
Universe MMO.
I agree. Yeah,
I wouldn't, but
I would.
you
I
will.
mean, I hate Halo
Why would you want to play in that universe then?
because Blizzard made it.
If they made it more gritty, I would.
Yeah,
Halo's a little too sunshine and butterflies for me.
yeah, I agree. It's too
But,
kid friendly.
It's because I'm so into Gears of War, and they're just so the total opposite of the spectrum. Chainsaw,
Motherfucker.
oh
Gun
man,
jam.
I'm so psyched for that. I can't wait for the beta to release for Gears.
What have you been playing recently?
Oh, I bought an Xbox again, so I've been all over the place. I dabbled a tiny bit into Alan Wake. Awesome, total great concept. Although if anybody's played it, I'm sick of replacing batteries after 2 seconds of fucking flashing it on shadow monsters, I'll call them. I've been playing Fable 2. Feels exactly like Fable 1. It feels amazing because I loved Fable 1. Even though everyone's complaints, I just absolutely love that game.
Why don't you get Fable 3?
Oh, it's coming in the mail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got that free when that's what made me get an Xbox. I just hopped on my brother's on my account, said 25 or 30% off your live subscription for the year, and you get a free game. And it was either Halo.
Why?
They're just, people complain about that, complain about buying live, but they have so many deals. Like right now, you can get live for 40% off the regular price if you subscribe through live.
Right.
So I was like, okay, 20% and a $60 game. I'll take Fable 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a no brainer for me. Next, within a week, I was like, should I just keep using my brothers? I ended up buying a Slim because they're so nice compared to the old units.
Yeah.
It's quiet. Got a 250 gig hard drive. I've installed like 20 games. So it's silent. So I've been playing that, Fable, Black Ops on the Xbox. I actually sold my Black Ops on my PS3. The intensity of Black Ops on Xbox to PS3 is night and day. Like because I played PC Black
Xbox
Ops.
Live's better.
Yeah.
No
I
doubt.
played PC Xbox. That's obviously the most cutthroat one. Went to PS3. I just dominated. It hadn't used the controller in
Yeah.
2 years and just
It's easy.
raped. And then went to Xbox and got my ass handed to me until a couple days. Got used to the controls again. Yeah, been playing that. Been playing a little bit of my PC, pretty much Black Ops. Actually, I'm really back into Bad Company 2 since I got Vietnam. And then one day I just like, I'm just going to play Bad Company regular. And I'm just loving it more than Call of Duty. And it's just getting me so psyched for Battlefield 3. That game's going to be amazing. The new Frostbite 2 engine. We can go more into other games if you want, but what have you been playing?
Honestly, I've only been playing StarCraft.
Really?
Yeah.
StarCraft's not holding me over. Although I do want to hop back on it because they reset the
ladder. Yeah. You never play StarCraft though. Like you started and then.
I'm an FPS guy. I'm good at FPS. People play games they're good at.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm, I was better at StarCraft 1 to be honest. But actually,
you know what? I'd never had more fun than when it was release day for StarCraft 2, and me, you, and Kyle all just sat in the tech room and waited for the game to come out. We
was
just
so much
played
fun.
StarCraft 1. Oh my god.
Awesome. Too bad that's never gonna happen again.
Just so that everyone out there knows I won because I'm awesome. No big deal. No big deal.
Okay. Actually, from the first one, I really like tower defense. And actually, there's a tower defense game I played the other day called Defense Grid, and I ended up playing that for like an hour or 2 hours before work, and I'm like, the whole game is just tower defense, and I'm loving it. And why do we have soccer on this TV?
I don't know. It's the new North American Soccer League or whatever.
Still don't care.
No, I know. I don't know how anyone.
Oh, it's Canada. Oh,
yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's Vancouver Whitecaps versus New England, something or other.
Oh, New England from the States.
Yeah, I'm just guessing
cool.
It's New England. It's NE and it's soccer. If anyone out there
New
knows.
Brunswick. Would it be NE? It'd be NB.
Their uniforms look like the Patriots.
Yeah. I get
So
that.
I would assume that.
I don't think they go right after the football team. Anyways, back to gaming. Soccer sucks anyways.
Yeah, I'm not a soccer guy.
Neither am I. So yeah, back to other than StarCraft, have you been playing in anything?
To be honest, no.
No?
Let me think for 2 seconds here. Let me just look at my. Oh, I'm not.
You've been playing WoW at all? Totally out of that right now?
No, I played WoW a couple days ago. I went on and made a priest on the server that you said you might play on.
Oh yeah, how long did you end up playing for?
I got to like level 11 or something.
Oh, so you gave it an hour and a half.
Yeah, maybe a little less than that. It was a human, so I pretty much know that inside and out. But they have changed it a lot with Cataclysm.
I heard that like it's just worth starting new characters because
it is.
They change the story for every.
It totally is. To be honest, if anyone out there plays WoW or had played WoW before and you've purchased Cataclysm, just go start a new character of every race because you've probably already done that in the old WoW.
Yeah,
it's totally different now.
I heard goblins are really fun to play with now. The story behind their first.
It was interesting. I'm not a fan though.
No, you've never been in the type of the short peoples, goblins or the gnomes. Neither have I.
No, to be honest, World of Warcraft is different now. It's too like cartoony.
Too cartoony, yeah.
Like they have too many like. It's hard to explain really. It's no longer like fantasy in my opinion. Now they got crazy shit like. I don't know, rockets and
yeah.
I don't know, it's stupid to me.
You've gone at
cars.
Yeah, that's no fun.
I'm more into
they took the fantasy aspect out of it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I like when you watch the first cinematic for World of Warcraft. That's what I'm into.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's like an undead warlock and the female night elf druid running
And
through
back
the
then,
forest.
you felt it like it was a war between the Alliance and the Horde. Now it doesn't feel like it.
They
Feels
they
like
kind of brought that back with Cataclysm, but it's nowhere near the way it was.
no, which they need to bring back. They need to make it be. I'm for the Alliance. I'm for the Horde. To make it.
They understand that. I think they seem to be really trying to do that.
Yeah.
We took a break a little while back, and Scott was talking about this video I had on my Facebook.
Comrades.
If anybody has ever seen FPS Russia on YouTube, you probably know what we're talking about.
If you like guns at all,
It's really
not,
funny.
Not to say we're all crazy and we just like guns, but I particularly like guns and I'm interested in the different models.
You know what? I've never been interested in guns, but I've just played so many games that have guns in them that now I know what guns are.
You know, actually, that brings up that I play games that have the guns I know. If they have a gun replicated to rather perfect or close to what I've seen or read about,
yeah,
I like the game more.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I noticed about FPS Russia is a lot of the guns that he actually shoots don't really seem like they do in games. I mean,
Oh, because games
well, they obviously have to scale them down or scale them up for balance, right?
Yeah, so, but like they're totally different. Like I loved when he did the RCXD. That was totally awesome. When he's like put the sparklers and the firecrackers on, he rolled it over to the said he's gonna blow up a microwave, and then he's like, oh yeah, and then the fireworks just stop and you're like, that was gay. All he did was put on fireworks. Then he cuts the camera to his face. He's like, what did he say?
I can't remember. It was something like
something like
or something.
That's not it. Turns around and the whole thing explodes. Or like he's talking about the American Colt series of guns, so the M16, the M4, and he shoots the M16, rattles off some pop bottles like real quick. This guy's got mad aims.
Oh yeah.
Then grabs the older version of the M16 or the M4. He shoots one, and then he takes two M16s and just rattles it off into water. And like he does everything slow motion, so you don't feel the intensity the first time. It's like these are shooting that slow, and you don't think about it because it still seems fast. It seems about the speed you see in video games. Then he speeds it to full time and just like clip done.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane. He said his favorite gun's the AK-47.
His favorite rifle. His favorite gun is actually a Colt 45. The pistol, which is actually 100 years old now.
There's a gun he was showing that folds up. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah,
a pistol caliber.
Yeah. It's a 45. I don't know. That's when he pepper sprayed himself. That's the video you posted.
Yeah.
He pepper sprayed him.
Yeah, he pepper sprayed himself in the face.
Like that really hurt. The question is he really Russian? Like
yeah.
he doesn't show any.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. I think he's pulling something. At the first, I was like, can you shoot automatic weapons in America? And I was like, no, duh. It costs a little bit more money, but you can.
Of course you can. But if it's on your own land, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Although it's the same thing in Russia.
Yeah. But I found out he was in America just because he's like, in America, pop is cheaper than water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he just keeps shooting pop bottles or watermelons. The guy's awesome.
You're right about his aim, though.
He is dead on, man. He's
Unless
like,
he just retakes it if he misses.
Let's see what I can do after he pepper sprays himself. He's like, pow, 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 pow. Hits everyone.
Yeah, dead on. Really fast, too.
See, that threw me off with the Colt because he shows the Colt and he's like, it's one of the most accurate. It's one of the best pistols you can have. Shoots them all. He's like, you may have not noticed. I hit every single one dead on, but some of them just didn't explode.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty funny guy.
All right, let's move on. Stick to the lists. Portable gaming.
Yeah, portable gaming.
Well, we'll start it off. What's your favorite console for portable gaming?
It's
like console, but medium for portable.
It's gonna be the iPhone or the iPod Touch. It's so convenient, especially right now. I have a BlackBerry and I have an iPod Touch. Hopefully, I'll soon have an Android or an iPhone. Leaning to the iPhone just because the audio aspect and the more games available.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to pick up and go. Like you're at work, it's dead.
That sucks.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with iPod Touch or iPhone.
Yeah, and now you wouldn't have catch me said this like 6 months ago because I totally hated the iPhone. You know what? I hate that I like it so much right now.
I know. I really don't want to be an Apple
I love my
fanboy.
BlackBerry, but it's too business oriented for me. I need that fun aspect.
Yeah.
But you know what? On my iPod Touch, I've been spending money and buying some games, and they're really well done for like even the dumbest games. I've been playing Tiny Wings for like hours and hours. Like I remember, I spent time playing that game over playing like a console game or a PC game. I was laying in my bed or sitting in a chair just playing that, and like 30 minutes would go by. I'd be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Playing such a simple game. Like all you're doing is pressing on the screen or not pressing on the screen. When you're not
Yep.
pressing on the screen, his wings are open. When you're pressing on the screen, his wings close in to gain speed. Like that's it, and you're going in and out of hills.
That game's got really good reviews.
Yeah.
When me and the Silver Moose were at the mall, I took his iPhone and I was playing that Impossible game or whatever it is, where the music changes and you have to hop that square over stuff.
That game is hard.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's actually on Xbox. They ported it.
No,
over.
I know. So fun.
Oh.
It's worth it just because the music is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's just that they take different aspects of games. There was one. I was listening to another podcast. They mentioned one. I forget, and they just made it seem so epic just for a phone game. I was just like, this is awesome.
Remember the one Attila was playing?
Oh yeah.
What was that called? Whatever. You basically just like fought bosses with a sword and stuff, and you had to parry attacks and different things.
Yeah, it's one of the top paid for apps. It's so well done.
The graphics, man.
Just like,
oh my god.
And the things you can do with touch over a controller.
Yeah.
Any day I'll choose a keyboard or controller, but the touch brings a new aspect of gaming.
For portable games, yes. For high-end gaming, no.
No. It's an easy concept. It's not an in-depth concept.
Yeah, I like same thing with motion. I just don't think motion will ever take over the high-end gaming.
You know
market.
what? In different aspect, I think you need a controller or a keyboard. What was really cool is I saw the preview for Forza 4, and they're showing you control with the Kinect. But one thing they showed was, you know how in most cars games, like you can press a button, you can look left or right to see out your windows.
Yeah.
Kinect will actually model your head if you go left to check out the left window, right to go to the right window. I'm like, that is amazing.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
That is cool. But if you mix that with a steering wheel or controller, it's perfect.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like
combinations.
Shouldn't just be like randomly holding your fist in the air and then pressing your foot. That's
weird.
The only thing wrong with that is a lag time, because those are instant things. Like if it was pulling a trigger, you need that instantly.
Yeah.
As a button can react instantly.
At least it feels more instant.
Yeah,
you can tell that you've pressed the button.
You can tell the millisecond difference.
Exactly. If you just move your finger, you don't know.
Something like just like a non-necessity of playing a game, you never need to look out your left or right window, but the cool effect of it, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's where Kinect will beat out PlayStation Move.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be a lot easier for them to mix that together, just because you don't have to have a motion controller in your hand. It can just be a gesture with a part of your body, right?
And also the fact that you only need one piece to do Kinect, and you need 5 controllers like the Wii.
Yeah. What do you think about the 3DS from Nintendo?
I didn't really care, but then the Nintendo rep was at work the other day, and I played Street Fighter, and they have this new view where like you go over the shoulder, and it's still 3D. Your guy pops out, and the guy comes closer to you.
Yeah,
amazing. I was like, frick, let's take out the Visa and just buy this and Street Fighter and play it until we're bored. It was awesome. And then you know what? The 3D actually works on it.
Yeah.
The first demo was just like, this is just gonna give people headaches. It's gonna suck. And then
I
played it for myself, and it's awesome. There is.
You have to hold in a certain.
Yeah, and it's not even that. They give you how much 3D you want. They have a little slider,
a scaler button on the side. Yeah.
The scaler, and you get to choose how you want that.
You know what? I see that being kind of cool, but at the same time, I have the same view on it as I do for motion gaming. It's not for me.
Yeah, they did add a motion sensor in it to a gyro, which was kind of cool because I played a game and the gyro would notice left or right, and the screen would change because it would see where you're at. And it's just this weird game where like it would take what the camera sees and like tear it open, and balls would come at you, and you press a button, you move the screen to shoot at them rather than move a cursor.
Right.
You shoot in the middle, you move your Wii, or not your Wii,
your 3DS,
your 3DS until you're in the center of the screen you're shooting at.
That would be kind of hard though with the whole sweet spot of the 3D though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be moving it around. And it would also kind of look pretty stupid if you're on an airplane or something. Or
yeah, it'd be pretty funny.
What the hell is wrong with that man?
Imagine somebody just watching the screen and it tears open the roof of the plane. Oh my god!
But there's not really too many other devices right now that are competitive in mobile gaming. I mean,
no, it's just cell phones.
Are we going to see another PSP?
The PSP, there's the NPC, they're calling it, I think. And
there's one that can make phone calls or some shit.
No, they added the PSP device into an Android phone, so you play PSP games on the Android because they're moving to a mobile
Ooh.
market instead of UMD. UMD's done.
Right.
So it's just like Xbox Live or PSN. You can download your games, which I hated at the beginning, but
Mhm.
now I prefer downloading my games on Steam because you know what? I don't want to have that clutter. And then if I want that game tomorrow and I'm in
Yeah.
my buddy's house, download it.
Look at all the freaking
Boxes.
boxes I got around here. This is
Frick.
ridiculous.
But like, even it's not even just that. It's oh, I brought my laptop, I brought my gaming PC, but I don't have that installed. Oh wait, Steam just need an internet connection. I'll have that game in 10 minutes. We can play.
Yeah.
That's it's
Cloud,
amazing.
man. It's the cloud.
Cloud is the best. Not really. Even though our my new favorite app, Dropbox Cloud.
Oh man, me and this bro have been sharing music all day. It's
you
ridiculous.
have. I'm busy lately. I haven't shared anything.
Like just what's it called again? Just Dropbox.
Just Dropbox. It's been
It's
around
amazing.
forever, and I'm sure half the people that listen to this probably have it or use it. It works on PC, works on Mac, works on
Your freaking phone.
BlackBerry, it
Jesus.
works on iPhone, Android, everything. And you just drop a song or a picture or a school document or just writing
Any file.
any file, and if you drop it there, go to your other computer, it's there. If you go to your phone, it's there.
That's definitely the future.
Yeah,
Who
for sure.
did that first? Do you think?
I
I think it was Mobile Me.
think Dropbox has been around before MobileMe.
Really?
I'm not positive. I would think so, because usually big companies like MobileMe or Microsoft Cloud now it's just they steal off some little guy's idea.
Those commercials are funny though.
You know what? Actually, you know what? That I bought my new motherboard today, and some of the software Gigabit was actually offering was cloud services to like overclock my computer while I'm at work. So
What?
yeah, I was like, what's the use for this? Or automatic BIOS updates. And there was one that showed a picture of a cell phone and showed a picture of the computer. So I was wondering if I could like turn on my computer with my cell phone. That would be awesome. Like coming
Yeah.
home from work, like oh,
That's smack though. Like
oh,
that's you can.
that was on
there's-
PC.
No, I'm just saying that's a Mac idea.
It is.
Your iPhone and your iPod Touch. There's apps that you can use as a trackpad.
Yeah, yeah.
To turn it on and off.
Yeah.
To
Which you know, I bet
iTunes controller.
I bet that technology is so old because I remember being in high school or grade school, and there were guys at a certain university in Ontario that were actually
Well, they didn't have smartphones then. So
no,
someone
they
else-
just use cell phones to unlock their car or turn off an alarm or to alert them. So that technology has been
right,
around,
right.
right? I would say just it was somebody's idea and it's blowing up and it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely.
People just don't have time to turn on their computers anymore. Might as well turn it off while you're on your way from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of developers of technology, we were talking earlier off the podcast about our favorite game developers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's hard for me to say anything other than maybe Blizzard, Valve, BioWare. I mean,
BioWare. Oh,
that's got to
those
be
are the
it,
three top
really.
dogs. It used to be Infinity Ward. I would have thought they were great competitors until they got screwed by Activision.
I just don't think they can touch Blizzard, BioWare.
I think in
Valve.
the days of Call of Duty 2 came out and how good it was,
Mhm.
as opposed
Blizzard
to
wouldn't have been in the game then.
no. World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft 2005.
Yeah. It doesn't touch it. They were competitors then. To me, Valve's the best. What game have they made that has not had a cult fan base?
What about BioWare? Yeah, BioWare is.
They make epic games, but games that not everyone can play. Because I will not play. Like I'm not that into the Dragon Age series. Mass Effect is amazing in my opinion. It's one of the best games I've played.
You would enjoy Dragon Age though. That's the thing.
I may enjoy Dragon Age, but it's different than seeing Left 4 Dead or Portal and being intrigued. Like I kind of want to play that game.
I've never played Portal.
Oh, you should honestly. I think I might even have one for free. It was free for a while on Steam.
I saw that. I just didn't download it.
You should have, man. Portal is such a good game.
No,
And
yeah.
You gotta just notice that because like everything has reference to Portal. Like The Cake is a Lie is in television shows. It's in music. It's in everything. It's in like movies. The Cake is a Lie.
So would you say that BioWare might be the most epic game company?
Yeah.
I would go with Blizzard
Yeah.
because my definition of epic is big.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard does it bigger than anyone else. in
I
my
would say
opinion.
my version of epic is the wow factor. Like, wow, that was amazing. Like,
Oh, I thought you meant
that-
World of Warcraft.
No, no, no. The wow factor and like you finish a game and you're buckled. Like, you can't wait for the sequel. Like what Half-Life 2 episode 1, 2 did to me was like, my goodness, I need to play see what happens next.
Right.
Which, did you get that with WoW? Did you need to see what happens next?
Absolutely.
See, that's where it goes to. That's where differences happen. To me, it's Valve or BioWare. Mass Effect, you know what, just floors me.
Yeah.
As
the game I have to play is BioShock. I have to play it.
BioShock or Mass Effect?
BioShock.
BioShock, amazing game.
I have to play it.
Oh, so good. Actually, it won't. It'll give it a little bit of a tough time, but BioShock 1 will run really well on your Mac, actually.
Yeah.
The 9600 should run it pretty well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go purchase that. All right, next topic: video cards.
Video cards.
We already talked about how
Yeah.
you're an AMD fanboy.
No,
so.
no, we did talk about that, but what brought this topic up in our gathering of topics session was Frank has a 9800 GT.
Yeah.
GT sitting on his desk, which he doesn't have a desktop. He just kept that one part because he upgraded his video card before. And I was just wondering if you could SLI with a 260, but then it's only Crossfire that can go crossbreeding with its cards.
But it has to be the same series.
Yeah, same series, as opposed where
NVIDIA
SLI
has to be the same card.
has the same card.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
But at the same time, you could argue that SLI's driver support is a lot better than Crossfire.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, if you don't count
ATI
third-party
right now,
drivers,
ATI is getting the best performance out of dual card situations.
I'd say that's probably just because of the heating issues of NVIDIA cards.
No, see, the thing is, people talk bad about ATI, but their drivers are so much better now.
Now, honestly, I've had trouble with ATI drivers. I've never had trouble with NVIDIA drivers.
You know, it's everyone's experience. I've had trouble with this freaking 260 drivers.
Actually, you know what? I can't say that because there's third-party sites that have amazing drivers for ATI. And
same thing for NVIDIA.
But the thing is, with NVIDIA, you don't really have to be.
You don't have to be with ATI either. The thing is, you're running games which, unfortunately, are clocked to run better on NVIDIA cards.
Then again, I guess the experiences that I've had with Muhammad having, purchasing high-end stuff right on release, obviously the driver support's not really going to be as good as it will months down the line. So just hearing stuff from him.
I think they both have something to offer. They're both, they're getting at that point where they're so neck and neck. It's like, what game do you play more? Okay, that system runs. That card runs.
I would say ATI is quite far ahead of NVIDIA right now. Just based on performance and price.
But that's what I was trying to say with the Crossfire. I wouldn't say the older models, like the ones you were used to. Maybe SLI ran better.
Yeah. It
probably
did, yeah.
But Crossfire right now is getting like almost an exact amount doubling when you put that second card in, as opposed to where it used to be a 30% jump. You get 30% better frame rate by SLIing or Crossfiring your card. ATI is going, if you have 168.7, you're getting 38 frames. If you have 2, you're getting like 55. So it's almost actually doubling or 60.
What's in your system right now? Did you just get a 6000?
No, I'm still using a 260.
Right,
NVIDIA. Unfortunately,
that's funny. You're like the biggest ATI.
I know
AMD fanboy. I know
that card is so going to be my physics engine as soon as I get a new ATI card.
Yeah, you could almost just build a new system now. Sure.
What do you mean?
You got your old motherboard.
Oh well,
wait,
I gave it to my dad.
Okay.
But yeah, we could take his stuff and build a new system.
You're gonna get a new CPU, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Bulldozer hits.
You bought new RAM.
Yeah.
You could build a new system in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I could.
That's pretty funny.
We have enough stuff hanging around.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Even my new motherboard, it's the first one to support the new AM3 Plus. It's the only one advertising will support AM3 Plus, which I'm so excited for. Bulldozer. AMD is just gonna rock it, I think. You know why? And they're, especially with the combination of their processor and graphics card, is because they bought Radeon, which has benefited them more than anything. It's first it was a rough start, but now it's picking up real well, especially with like AMD Black Series. Like, you buy certain motherboards, or not motherboards, you buy certain processor and you buy a certain GPU, and they work better together.
That's my whole point about AMD being able to
AMD
really push
Vision,
technology on mobile.
This new stuff where they're doing, I think they're going to be much better with the GPU on the CPU.
Laptops.
Yeah. We did you bring that up on the podcast? No, we talked about that.
Yeah, we did actually. Well, we talked about Mac switching over to AMD
AMD
processor.
There's obviously something going on.
Yeah.
But we'll see if not AMD processors.
That's why I
AMD
said
GPUs.
GPUs after. Yeah.
But I think not Intel. I think Apple's actually looking into making their own processors rather than moving to
Again?
AMD. Well, look, they're having such success with the A4 and the A5 processor.
Mobily, yeah, but
And their laptops are mobile.
but the compatibility issues.
Yeah, there's that. But
and dual booting, I think they're probably going to keep Intel processors in their.
They might switch to AMD though.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying
those are
won't
the
go back to
same
manufacturing
architectures
their own.
now. Like they could switch anytime.
If they make their own, it's going to be based on the same architecture, I think, just because the ability to run Windows on a Mac is too valuable.
The only thing is they're going to have to pay for the rights, which Apple's so rich anyways.
Yeah, they don't care.
As soon as Steve Jobs dies and stock drops, I'm picking that shit up real quick.
All their prices better reflect the drop in stock.
Yeah. But yeah, their products are just I don't really like the iPad. It's just the bigger screen to me. I'd much prefer the iPhone 4 or iPhone 5.
That's what I thought right away was, what the hell is the freaking iPad? It's just a bigger iPod Touch or whatever.
It's cool. It's nice to have the bigger screen. It makes your apps more functional in some sense, in some applications. But portability, they're saying, okay, buy with 3G.
I've totally changed my
Why would
opinion.
I be traveling with that big-ass tablet when I have my phone and I can have my laptop in my backpack? So when I get comfortable, I'll take out my laptop or MacBook Air now.
Yeah.
But when I'm sitting on the bus or the train, I can just use my iPhone 4 or 5.
Well, I think it's the interaction of the larger screen that really makes the difference. If you look at certain occupations, like maybe a real estate agent or something like that.
Those are perfect situations for those. I'm not saying that the iPad's not there. Like I said, some applications work better with it.
Yeah, essentially what Apple did.
They're
was
trying to make it as
a
a portable gaming machine or something, but I just don't see it happening for me.
I think that's just a secondary use for it. They what they did was they invented something new. It's not an iPod. It's not a.
They didn't invent anything new. They just have a bigger app base to make a tablet. Tablets have been out far before the iPad.
I wouldn't say
it's been a push, and it's been a user interface that they reinvented. The multi-touch, the ease of ability.
You know what I'm really surprised they haven't really implemented?
Ease of use
is sort of a Intuos drawing pad app. For people in graphic design.
They do.
They have a pen for it and everything?
Oh, you can buy pens now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's just up to the people making an app for it.
Right.
I think I'm not positive, but there might I know they already have Keynote and that. They might be working on Aperture. Aperture already might be out.
Oh, well, is it going to be a third-party app, or is it going to be something like Aperture?
Apple would probably make its own version of Aperture, as Photoshop will try to do their own. I'm sure they're working. Photoshop's probably intensively working on an app.
Right.
It's just like I keep seeing DJ apps now, or music production apps, like make your own music, which is nice to just touch and move, cut, things like that. But it's gonna be a while until computers go out, and I think you're gonna see touch interface integrated into, like, if my Mac had a touch device like an iPad or an iPhone, my goodness.
Like if your screen was
that's
the future for sure.
My goodness.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's not though, because they're going in the way we're going to make the OS more like iOS instead of keeping the OS and working on a better touch interface for OS.
Right.
Because I saw Line, and you know what? I didn't like the way they were putting apps on the screen. That'll not be me. I like my launch bar. That's what will drive me back to going to Windows if they do that, if they fully switch.
They never will, I don't think. Not fully.
Might have an option. Actually, the guys that made the launch bar and were the leads of Snow Leopard left. They're done with Apple. They're freelancers right now.
Wow.
And the people that made iOS are leading the Apple division now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they have had a lot of success with iOS.
Which, you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of the OS. I still love Windows. Every time I go there, it still feels a little bit like home.
Just because you're more used to it.
But Windows is getting better as Mac's trying to change, kind of idea. And it's also the fact that I like Mac's hardware. I like the innovation of the trackpad.
I agree.
The key layout, the things they've done, those are great. That's what makes me use my Mac. And yes, the OS has some things that Windows can copy, and it'll make me feel back at home.
Well, you got to think of it this way too. Apple manufactures the OS and the hardware, whereas Windows.
That's the advantage of Mac. They have nicer hardware because HP or
Smashed, yeah.
Acer or Asus aren't kicking it up a notch. Which actually, the new head of Acer just quoted him saying, "We're going to be more like Apple and less like HP." Which I wish HP said that, but hey,
Yeah,
we're gonna be more like Apple
instead of
and
like
less like
ourselves.
HP. And you know what? They have their own direction because they bought the Palm OS, and I'm dying for another company to succeed
With Palm? Oh,
against Apple and the tablets.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see another tablet go widespread like the iPad.
I think the only thing that it would affect would be price. I think Apple pushes themselves enough. I don't
Yeah.
think you would see an increase in technology.
No,
It'd just
not
be
at
price.
all. Apple could have done some more things with their technology of this iPad. They kind of
I think they held back on the iPad 1, or sorry, the iPad 1.
Oh, they probably had the iPad 2 developed and ready to go
That's what I'm
when
saying.
they released the iPad 1.
Because they're totally screwing over all the other companies now that haven't even released their tablets yet.
Exactly. They just, you know what? It's not even the tablet. Yes, it's a gorgeous tablet. It's the fact that the OS runs way better than anything else.
Yeah.
But
What's the processor speed on the Playbook?
Playbook is a dual gigahertz processor.
Dual 1 gigahertz processor, and the iPad 2?
Dual 1 gigahertz processor, the A5. But I think we'll end that on a break. We'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back.
we finished our list. One thing I want to definitely incorporate is questions.
Questions, yep.
Yeah, because the medium's going to be YouTube now.
Yeah. When YouTube, we'll get the email up, and you'll be able to email us.
Yeah,
if you don't have a question that you want us to have everyone seeing.
Yeah.
So you can leave your comments as questions.
Yeah,
we'll go through them.
Questions as comments, I think you meant, but yeah.
Yeah, comments as questions.
Questions as comments.
I think it works both ways.
Wow.
You can leave your comments as a question, or you can leave your question in the comments. That's the way you want to say it.
Correct. Alrighty.
All right.
So did you want to just end it here then?
Yeah. Cheers to you.
Sounds good. We're almost coming up on an hour and a half. If you want to subscribe to this channel, if you're not already, you'll be able to get the rest of these, as well as we said at the beginning. iTunes, you just have to search GameKase. I think it's the second one. It's the explicit one, whatever that is. I guess we swear too much.
Or I swear too much. I don't think anyone else does. I got a little bit of dirty math.
And there's actually 4 episodes up already on iTunes. So
if you haven't listened to us yet, this is going to be the highest quality, of course.
Yeah.
We did get a hardware upgrade like we mentioned.
This is episode 5.
5, yep. 5.
Alrighty.
All right.
This is Feltzer signing off for GameKase.
And this is Kool-Aid.
Keep gaming.